So HRs, did you just announce another fun Friday with pizzas, games, team bonding activities? And now you're expecting excitement, energy, and maybe a pat on the back for how amazing these activities are. Well, I may have some uncomfortable news for you. Your employees actually dread these activities more than their Monday morning meetings. And I guess you probably know this because you always notice how people are checking their phones, finding excuses to step away during these fun Friday activities. Hi, I'm Sanjeevani from Bented Circle, bringing you another slightly uncomfortable truth. Your well-intentioned Fun Friday initiatives might be creating the exact toxic workplace culture you're trying to fix. You see, as HR, you have been trained to think that culture equals activities. Pizza parties, team building exercises, themed dress-up days. You schedule them thinking you're boosting morale. But here's what you miss. For this, I want you to picture a scenario that happens in offices everywhere. Employees are buried under deadlines, stress levels are through the roof, and right in the middle of this chaos, HRs announce a mandatory fun team activity. Now, do you know what happens next? Those forced smiles you see, that's not engagement. That's your employees pretending to be happy because they feel they have to. And that's not a great place to be, trust me. And here's a wake-up call for you. According to DHR Global 2005 research, 82% of employees are now at a risk of burnout. Now this is an all-time high. Yet, instead of addressing the root causes, workload, poor communication, lack of support, you are doubling down on forced fun activities. And trust me, that is not a very good idea. See, when culture feels mandated, it backfires. Your employees start viewing these initiatives as tone-deaf distractions from real workplace issues. And honestly, they are not wrong to feel that way. As HR leaders, you have to understand that authentic workplace culture cannot be scheduled or mandated. Real connection actually happens when people feel psychologically safe, valued for their contributions, and respected for who they are. And you know what builds culture? How you handle employee mistakes, how you respond to feedback, whether you provide growth opportunities, whether managers actually listen during difficult conversations. This is, in reality, the real culture work we should be focusing on. Now that I've shown you the problem, let me show you what you should do instead. So, here are 3 actionable steps you need to implement immediately. First, conduct anonymous pulse surveys. Yes, the surveys should not be about what activities people want, but about what's actually blocking their productivity. Ask specific questions like what takes up unnecessary time in your workday? Or what would make you feel more supported? Ask real questions. Second, replace mandatory fun with flexible benefits. Instead of forcing everyone into the same activity, give people choices. Offer remote work options, flexible hours, professional development budgets, or even just quiet spaces to decompress. Let people choose what actually improves their work experience. And third, train your managers to have real conversations. You see, most workplace toxicity comes from poor management, not lack of pizza parties. Teach your leaders how to give meaningful feedback, how to recognize individual contributions, and how to create psychological safety in their teams. That, in fact, is more valuable. So, start focusing on removing workplace friction, not adding activities. Address toxic workplace culture at its source. Unclear expectations, poor communication channels, and lack of genuine support. These are the real culture destroyers. So now, before I wrap up, I have a challenge for all HR leaders watching this. Cancel the Fun Friday this week. Instead, have open conversations with your teams. Ask what's actually impacting their work experience and what would genuinely improve their daily reality. Because authentic workplace culture isn't about mandatory participation. It's about creating conditions where people voluntarily engage. And that's your real job as HR professionals. If you have more ideas on how to create genuine engagement, let us know in the comment section. And do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you until next time.